Hey, welcome to Graphic Policy Television GPTV. I'm Brett, and my hands is Batman 0 Year Part 2, part of the Fanhome collection. Now, Fanhome is doing kind of like a subscription service taking you through the various ages of Batman, a whole bunch of graphic novels. I'm not even sure all the stuff that's being released, but it's taking you bit through bit, some kind of key stories. So it's been going to be a fun way to maybe revisit or first time reading some classic Batman stories. And starting off, they went with 0 Year by Snyder and Capullo. This has contents from Batman number 27 and issues 29 through 33. I remember reading this when it came out in single issues and enjoying it. Like, it was a pretty solid, I say, take on Batman. Like, I liked it. It was pretty good. So as I said, written by Scott Snyder, art by Greg Capullo, ink by Danny Miki, color by FCO Plascencia. Basically the story is, was kind of an early tale of Batman. This when Snyder and Capullo was rocking it. And the original story first started off with Bruce coming back, taking on the Red Hood, and then the Riddler rises, and then there's a character that Riddler's been manipulating called Dr. Death. Riddler basically hijacks Gotham, and Batman has to win it back. I think what's actually really interesting about this isn't necessarily, the Riddler Batman aspect of it. I mean, that's always fun, the action, how's Batman going to stop the bad guy, that sort of stuff. It's always entertaining. I think what's really interesting and what Snyder did as far as writing was really examine the relationship between Bruce, Jim Gordon, and Alfred. Usually you kind of get the sense that, like, Alfred winds up kind of being a parent to Bruce and taking care of him, and there's definitely some aspect of that, but I think there's some really interesting aspects to this, in that Snyder actually kind of throws it out there that Bruce, goes out there as Batman and forces Alfred to kind of help him, almost as like a penance in some ways, that it forces Alfred to remember and deal with kind of the failures, and same with Jim Gordon in many ways as well, especially with Gordon's kind of what the corruption that's hinted at in this, in Gordon's early years. I mean, I think that's the other interesting aspect of this is, while I'm not a Batman expert, I mean, generally Jim Gordon is kind of portrayed as a very clean-cut, squeaky clean cop, and here it kind of shows that, he was corrupted by Gotham a little bit in the beginning, and eventually kind of gets out of that. But I think, to me, it's that relationship between Bruce and Alfred and Jim. That's the really interesting aspects of this, especially towards the end when you get an interesting discussion of between Alfred and Bruce kind of admits that there was a point where he wanted to erase the pain, erase his past, and kind of move on, and there's an opportunity for him to maybe find happiness. We get to see a possible future, and Alfred winds up enabling Bruce and having him go down the path of being Batman, that lonely path. This is a Bruce Wayne who's 25. It's mentioned that he's 25 years old towards the end of this. So I think it's a really interesting early read of it, and I kind of dig it. Like, there's something about the pain of it, and Bruce forcing Alfred to experience pain in a different way by watching Bruce hurt himself as Batman. I think that's a really interesting take and really interesting direction of it. The art is fantastic. Greg Capullo is an amazing artist. I think he rocked it on Batman. There's so many just cool moments and fantastic art, and I think it's a really interesting take, not just on Jim Gordon, but like the buzz-headed Bruce. I think is really cool. The stuff with Dr. Death is fantastic. It's just, that's a really cool looking character. You get like the giant dirigible, which is such a cool addition. Great moments like that. I mean, it's just a very dynamic, fantastic, visuals. I mean, everything about this, I think, is such a solid read. The 2 volumes together is fantastic. There's a little bit of extras, not tons. There's kind of an intro in the beginning. There's a gallery in the back, which I think is all the covers. at least a lot of the covers. But yeah, I mean, it's. I think this is an interesting way of going about reading some classic Batman. You know, I'm always a fan of subscriptions. I think they're kind of fun. If you got the extra money and can afford to do it, I think, you know, it gives you something to look forward to in the mail and get and be a little excited. You know, yeah, I don't get tons of mail, you know, traditional mail, and you getting subscriptions, getting a magazine, getting graphic novels. There's something kind of fun about it. It makes you look forward to a little bit of seeing what's going to show up. So I recommend it. I think it's kind of cool. You know, if you're a Batman fan or if you've always wanted to dive into some classic Batman stories, you know, go for it. You know, they're good reads. It should be a really interesting curation and seeing what's out there. So you can go get this. This is out. You know, the subscription's going on. We got links where you can go and subscribe to it. We get nothing for it, but we did get hooked up with this copy for review, and I think it looks like we might be getting all of them, which is going to be awesome. So go check it out. Definitely go check it out. I think if you've always wanted to read Batman and want to see Batman throughout the years, and it sounds like it's going to be some classic stories, this is a solid way of going about it. So go get yours. And, of course, we want to thank Fanhome for hooking us up with this review copy, and, of course, thank you all for watching. If you're into comics, you're into graphic novels, check us out every day at graphicpolicy.com. We're on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Tumblr, Instagram, TikTok, Mastodon, Threads, Blue Sky, all at Graphic Policy, keeping it nice and consistent. Until next time, keep reading those comics, and keep it geeky. Hey, thanks for watching the previous video from Graphic Policy Television. Just by watching, you help support our site. Thank you so much. Now, if you're watching these videos, you probably care about geeky things like movies, television, comic books, toys, games, video games, you name it. You can go and subscribe right now to our YouTube channel to stay in touch and catch all the new videos, or check out our website at graphicpolicy.com. There's a nice link on this end of the video. But as always, thank you for watching. Keep on rocking and keep it geeky.